finding something or finding what is therapeutic for you as a person individually. So bear with me. I want to say first, I should preference that I'm not an expert in therapy. I'm not someone that maybe is fully credentialed to speak about a lot of the stuff. I would say more so like an advocate. As a person who has gone to therapy before, I can definitely speak on that. It's not something that I still do to this day, but I have taken that approach to go do that and get my own experiences. And everybody's going to have their own opinion and their agenda when it comes to stuff like that. So I can only speak about mine. I was opposed to going to therapy because I didn't really understand it when I was younger. I was like, it doesn't really make sense for me. I didn't feel like it was going to be a good fit. And I also wasn't that comfortable enough to open up about a lot of the bad stuff in the past to a completely different stranger. Just the idea of it didn't really make sense until I actually take a step back and would look and be like, well, how do you know it won't work for you until you actually try it? So I took it upon myself to go do 5 sessions. Did 5 sessions, and I didn't follow up after that. I feel like, okay, I got the gist of it. I know more or less, I got the feel for exactly what it does. Now, if you're a person who has gone to therapy or talks about therapy, you will know that that's not exactly true. You have to like continually go. And, the more and more you continue doing it, the more and more you find out stuff about yourself and kind of will learn and grow. So that's hypocritical right there. You know what I'm saying? But that's just my experience was going for those 5. So that's where I speak about like my voice in it, in I guess I would say being an advocate for it. But let me elaborate a little more. So finding stuff that's therapeutic for you. If you not opposed to that, or if you haven't gone to do that, there is other options you can do, such as I remember one thing that helped me out a lot was I found it very therapeutic for me to just randomly take off to a city by myself and have the whole day to just not have a plan, but to go out, do stuff, and be safe. I used to get up early, well, this is not early, but I would get up and I would choose what I was going to do for the day. And some days would be like San Francisco or something like that, or the city. So I would get up about like 9. I was dressed, had myself ready to go, and I would drive right at 9 a.m. I would drive to Concord. Concord had the BART station, and I would leave my car parked in the BART area, and I would take BART from Concord, and I would have it's like $7 or some shit like that, and I would take BART all the way to San Francisco, and I'd be in San Francisco, and I get off on like Mission Street or like right kind of close to, I forgot which one it was, but it was the one that's like basically right in the middle of downtown, and it's like close to California Street, close to AT&T Park and all that, right? So I'd get off there, and then I would just walk. I would just go, and for some reason, I don't know how, but I would always wind up going to Chinatown first. I'll go to Chinatown. I would walk up and down the little stores and everything, and I would stop at this random little bar that was right there, or like a hole in the wall fucking shop. I would get myself a little drink a little bit up on myself, go walk around, found like the hillside, everything where they would have like a little mini flea market, I guess you would say, or like, it would be like artists selling stuff. So I would always go trip out on the paintings and everything. And then I would walk to Pier 39. Now, granted, sometimes I wouldn't walk because I've done this more than one time. Sometimes I would walk, and then sometimes I would take an Uber, or like a Lyft. And I would go to Pier 39, and then I would go to the same, I think it was like, was it Wipeout? I forget the name of it now, but because I haven't done it in a couple of years. But I would go to the same little spot, and I would eat, get another drink, go to the actual pier, walk around there, look at everything, and then I would walk back or take a lift back. And then during that time, I was like, I'd be buzzed, but I wasn't like messed up, you know what I mean? And I talked to a few people, meet a few people, and then kind of just see what where the day's gonna go. But I didn't have a plan; I would just go. So when I knew that it was getting like a certain time, like I say 6 or 7, and I was trying to map it out in my head, like, all right, it's 6 right now. By the time I get to the bar, by the time I get to it'd be like, by the time I actually physically get there, like 7. Then I could hop into the BART at Concord. Then by the time I get there, then I get to my car, then drive back to Sacramento. So it's like you kind of like plan that stuff out like that, or at least I would say the closest thing to planning. I like the fact that there was no plan, but obviously you still have to, be safe with everything, and you still have to kind of, know more or less where you're gonna be at, what you're gonna do, and your surroundings and everything. And so there was like a mix of everything, but it's like there was kind of a plan, but there wasn't. And I love that idea of not having a plan, and I love the idea of just kind of figuring it out on the go. And I've done this multiple times. A lot of my close friends that I've talked to, a lot of people in my family, I was like, I would just they would call me or I would call them and they'd be like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm just walking around." They're like, "What?" Like I was in San Francisco, Marin County area, or I'd be sometimes Pittsburgh, but not really. But I would just walk around because to me, that was therapeutic for myself. It was getting a chance to escape whatever problems you're dealing with, whether they be social problems, mental problems, family problems, relationship problems, or any kind of stuff like that. You can kind of get a chance to escape that and take like a mental break without being on your phone with everything, or worried about this or stressed about that. It's just like a day to just take a day by yourself.